What's up, guys? Evan here, along with my co-caster, the Troublemaker,
What's up,
and
everybody?
we are the Yin Yang
Yin
Tribe.
Tribe.
So today in our video, as you know, Survivor has actually filmed in Fiji. We're now coming up on seasons 9 and 10 in a row in the Mamanuca Islands in Fiji. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 locations that we think Survivor should revisit. Like, they've been to these locations before, and we think they should go back to these 5 places. So the first location we think they should go back to is the GOSHEN cattle station on the Herbert River in Queensland. For those of you new school Survivor fans, this is where Survivor filmed their 2nd season, Survivor the Australian Outback. So I think this was a completely different location from season 1, in which they filmed on the island of Pulau Tiga in Malaysia. But I personally like this location because it's not a typical beach location. It's on the Herbert River, but also pretty challenging as well. Like, it could get pretty hot at times, like most of Survivor places now do. They had the challenge with eating too much of their rice, and they also had constant rain too that actually washed away their camp. And they actually initially lost all the rice that they had to negotiate with Jeff to get, but then they got it back.
What country is this in?
Australia.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they filmed back in season 2.
Wow, I didn't know that it was like that there was an island like that in Australia.
This actually wasn't on an island. This was in the heart of Australia.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is actually the tribal council area from that season. And unlike season 1, in which it was just on a wooden platform in the jungle, this season's tribal council was filmed on a waterfall, which I think is really cool. Like, they totally went all out for their 2nd season. Had a bit of an Aborigines theme with the Aborigines people of Australia, which was this was kind of the first season to do that, along with future seasons like Pearl Islands with pirates, Guatemala with the Mayan culture, a couple others, etc. But yeah, here's some other pictures from there as well. Like, this was actually when their tribe camp got washed away.
Wow.
And that's the Ogakor tribe from that season. But it was a pretty cool location, and I'd be interested to see them go back here, especially now that the show.
That Amber?
Yeah, she was on that season.
Amber was on Australian Outback.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Like before she played in All Stars?
Yeah.
Oh shit. And that's Colby. And Tina, that's Tina.
Yes.
And Jerry. Oh my god.
Yep. Heroes Against Villains.
All the classics were on this season.
Kimmy as well.
Yes.
All right.
All right. And number 4 is one of my personal favorite seasons, the CARAMOAN Islands, Philippines. This is where they filmed seasons 25 and 26. These were actually the first 2 seasons I ever watched. And this is why I started liking the show, because of Malcolm was one of my favorite players, and he played in both of these seasons, the back-to-back seasons. So I would love the game to come back to both of these places. I don't think it ever will, because it, like, back then it kind of tended to go from place to place to place to place. But I personally would love if it went back there. And there he is, my boy, tossing them rings with Abby Maria in the back and Probst himself.
All right. But I personally like the CARAMOAN Islands, and before Survivor US came here, a couple other international versions have been to the CARAMOAN Islands. Like, Israel had several seasons there. They actually have had 5 seasons in this region of the Philippines. Survivor India had their only season here. What else? Serbia had 2 seasons here. But having heard of a few versions of Survivor having filmed here, I was interested to see Survivor US come here as well. And I think it's a beautiful location. Like, blue water, you can see straight down, amazing scenery. It's definitely the kind of location that you'd want to go on a trip to.
Yes.
And like here, like, you got the river in the background, got a lot of green space. Pretty nice.
I'm annoyed. Eric was supposed to win that season.
All right, my next favorite would be the ZHELIN Reservoir in Jiujiang, Jiangxi, China, which was season 15 of Survivor in 2007. This was one of the first seasons I actually remember hearing about. I didn't watch it at the time, but I remember hearing about it. But this was like easily one of the most unique Survivor locations of all time. And as said earlier, when Survivor had the theme of culture, such as like the Mayan culture, pirate culture. This season had ancient Chinese culture as its theme. A lot of the challenges in that season, I'm surprised a lot of them haven't made a return. A couple of them have, but I'm surprised not many of them have. But completely different location. Like, I mean, it's on a river again, on a lake. Like the tribal council here was a Chinese temple. Pretty cool. And here, that's the location, Lake of a Thousand Islands, it was called. And of course, they had to go to several locations in China, including the Great Wall itself for rewards. Like, Survivor never does stuff like this before. Like,
That's
experience
actually
the culture,
beautiful.
a location. Yeah.
That's a beautiful place.
Like, in particular, one of my favorite challenges was the fireball challenge in episode 4, where two tribe mates had to use chopsticks to carry a fireball across a path and into a walk, and that would ignite a firework. Really cool challenge. They need to bring that one back.
Number 2 is the Palau Islands in Cagayan, Philippines, seasons 27 and 28. I actually didn't even know that all of those seasons were filmed in the Philippines, but again, I would love for them to go back to Cagayan. That was, I think Tony did one, or he won Cagayan. I don't remember which one was after that, but that's again like those seasons are like my favorites because they're like the classic ones that I got into the game with. So I would love for them to go back to those places. And
But like Survivor CARAMOAN and like Fiji now, there's crystal clear blue water you can see down. Very beautiful scenery with the lakes and the green area outside the forest. But I personally prefer this Philippine region over CARAMOAN, whereas CARAMOAN's been in the location for several seasons of Survivor around the world. This one, actually, the US is the only one to go to, which kind of makes it a little more unique. And I read recently that the crew stayed here for a little while after filming just so they could enjoy it for a little while longer.
wow.
So, like I said, I would definitely like to go to this one. This one's very, very beautiful.
Oh yeah.
All right. Number one's probably my personal favorite location of all time, Survivor Palau. Jeff said
Tom.
a few years back that not only is Survivor Palau, which is season 10, one of his favorite seasons, but that Palau is one of his favorite locations.
I agree
And
with
I
both.
definitely have to agree with both of those statements.
Me too. I love Tom Westman.
Yes, that moment where he caught the shark.
He's a fan favorite for me.
How did he not get back on Winners at War? He should have come back.
I think he didn't want to.
But seriously though, Palau is a very nice location. And that's actually the challenge, the final immunity challenge from that season. But like some of the seasons I've talked about, like Survivor, China, and Guatemala, this season also had a central theme with World War II. Like that challenge where you had to shoot the army rifle replica to destroy your targets. The fonts, the tribal council was themed around World War II. They used barbed wire, concrete, a lot of materials to build that. Like, and they had quite a few water challenges here, like this one, where they had to go out into the Laguna and match all the destinations to its distance from Palau. And this is the tribal council area from Micronesia. Pretty cool, up on water. There's not many that are on water. And again, I love the challenges too.
How young Jeff is, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
I know,
my.
15, 16 years ago now.
Wow. We were in diapers, bro.
Yeah, I know, right?
We were in diapers.
But and also to like Palau, I read this one ranking of top 5 locations, and Palau is on the list, mentioning the darker theme to the season, like because of the World War II theme, in which you saw tanks in the jungle, you saw ships sunken on the seabed, you had a couple you could see above the ocean. Like really cool kind of theme to this season. And like Fiji, there's also quite a few water challenges as well. Like this one, you got quite a few types of challenges. You had quite a few water challenges. Like really cool location. And go back here. I'd love to see this one in high definition because, fun fact, Micronesia was the last season to film in standard definition. All right, so hope you enjoyed our video. I hope
you enjoyed our video more.
Yes, but this one I could see having a little bit of interest in. Feel free to tell me any locations you remember that you would want to see in. And we have one coming up on new locations we think the show should go to. So feel free to check that one out. And we will see you in our next video.